I have something for you when you've got a sec.
Hello again. I was uncertain you would return.
Hey, what's going on? Anything I can do for you? You know it. Just here for a chat? Yeah, ask away. Working on my biography, huh? You heard of New Homestead in the Sol System? Most people haven't. It's out in the sticks, on one of Saturn's moons. That's where I grew up. Not exactly the most exciting place to be a kid. It's got a lot of ice, a lot of wind, and not much of anything else. I wasn't exactly torn up about leaving to work for Argos. If my family weren't still working the wind farms there, I don't think I'd ever go back. Yeah, I never saw myself living in New Homestead forever. To tell you the truth, I hope my family splits too. My mom's always talked about retiring to Jemison. Of course, that'd be a whole lot easier if she didn't have so many kids to look after. New Atlantis isn't exactly cheap. Hopefully she'll be able to move someday, though. I worry about her. Wind farming's a pretty dangerous job. Maybe someday, when my brothers are older. Lynn convinced me. She and some Argos miners stopped by my hometown on Titan to refuel, and I happened to be on shift at the spaceport that day. I noticed some rare minerals in her cargo hold and started chatting with her about them. She was impressed by how much I knew about geology and offered me the gig. It wasn't a hard sell. Lynn seemed like a decent boss, and the salary was great. Besides, my rock collection had gotten as big as it was gonna get on Titan. Yeah, we are. She's been my boss for a long time. I think of her as a friend. Don't tell her I said this, but she's not as much of a hard ass as she'd like you to think. And despite what she says, I know she has a soft spot for me. Hell yeah, I do. I've been working on it for years. I used to collect mineral samples from meteorites that hit Titan, or buy them off pilots at the spaceport. Lynn even contributed to it. She offered me a good-sized chunk of tantalum for my collection, as a signing bonus.
No way. Whatever you found down there had some seriously weird energy coming off of it. Honestly, I hope I never see something like that again in my life.
8 years, give or take a couple months. It's been a great job. Pays decent, and my rock collection's never looked better. I don't. Really. After what happened on Vectera, I seriously needed a break from Argos. And you're not shy about cracking rocks either, so I still get my fix. Well, my dad's not in the picture, but I have the best mom in the settled systems. More brothers than you can shake a stick at, too. Raising us gave Mom a real run for her money. It's a miracle she didn't leave us to freeze at one of the ice mines on Titan. We got into all kinds of trouble as kids. She's a new homesteader, born and raised. Her family's been working the wind farm since the first generation of settlers made it to Titan. She's a great mom. Never lets anyone put her kids down. Oh, you should have seen how mad she got when she found out people at school were making fun of my rock collection. She was so determined to get me to stick with it that she read every geology book I had so she could ask me about my collection. That meant a hell of a lot to me. I've got 6. Evan, Tim, Ethan, Shane, Lucas, and Finn. Or, boys, get the hell down here, as our mom likes to call us. I'm the oldest by a couple years. Finn's the youngest, he's only 10, and the rest of them are moody teenagers. Couldn't tell you. He split to join a spacer group when I was young, and I haven't heard from him since. Broke my poor mom's heart. Nope, and I don't plan on it. He made it pretty clear that he didn't want to know me, so I don't want to know him either. Mom took it the hardest. She and my dad were together a long time. I don't think she saw it coming. I sure didn't. And most of my brothers were too young to get what was happening, but they could tell how upset our mom was. That was hard on everyone. But hey, we got through it okay in the end. My mom and I leaned on each other and managed to keep things running while we got back on our feet. I was 12. He left while I was out collecting rocks with a couple of my brothers. Didn't say goodbye or anything. Real class act, huh? I'm not. My family means a lot to me, and my dad treated him like crap, so I didn't have a very hard time writing him off. Yeah, you can say that again. My brothers and I are always up to something. It's a good thing I grew up in a town where our definition of getting into trouble was screwing around with old mining equipment. We would have raised all sorts of hell in a big city like New Atlantis. Knock yourself out, boss. Already taken care of, boss. I donated it to one of the tour companies in New Homestead. Geological formations are one of Titan's big tourist attractions. It hurt my heart a little to give it up, but the woman I donated them to promised they'd give me credit for collecting all the samples. Assuming she ever puts them on display. Whether she does or not, I'm glad to know all my hard work won't be gathering dust in a storage unit somewhere. Righto, boss.
Do you need me for something?
I would be more useful to you aboard your ship than idling here awaiting tasks.
Here to shoot the breeze?
I have an important personal decision to make, but I need to discuss something with you first. Oh, well, I guess I understand. Just never mind.
And not a transport craft. Thinking I should just do that.
Yeah, sounds like a bad idea to me.
You look like you need something, yeah? Hey, you looking at getting into bounty hunting for the Trackers Alliance? Get yourself set up with a job from one of the mission boards in town. Not everyone's cut out for this line of work, but you'll be fine and get paid as long as you follow our motto: show no mercy, leave no quarter. I've got one I don't mind sharing with you. There was one time I had to track down one of our own. Someone I once called friend. She'd gone rogue. We have lists of our members and their contact information kept secret for obvious reasons. This one, she had hacked into our systems and began to distribute lists to the highest bidders. You can imagine many people would kill to have this information. So I had to track her and stop her before she could make the first delivery. Let me tell you, it's not easy to hunt someone who knows all your tactics and techniques. But I found her, and when I did, I silenced her for good. We are, quite simply, an alliance of bounty hunters. Some of us share resources, some of us go it alone. But the organisation makes it easier for us to do our jobs and legitimises our work, so that rather than being paid vigilantes, we are part. Various people approach the Alliance looking for those living on the lam. We use our unique skills to find and deal with them. It's dangerous out there. Watch your back. Let me know if I can help you.
We flew up.
Certainly. You'll find mission boards in every major city and some of the smaller settlements as well. You can use them to find many types of jobs, including Tracker's Alliance bounty missions. More often than not, they'll be near spaceports. Check the bars where travelers and freelancers like yourself might frequent. A word of advice. Mission boards are guaranteed payment upon completion of the job. You can rely on them, unlike some of the barflies who might offer sketchy jobs. Go and leave no quarter.
Hey, now funny stuff with that boost pack, and the flight traffic as it is.
Okay, the final box I need you to deal with should be right around there. Unfortunately, I just realized you're in for a real tangle of cabling. Like 200 years of field attempts to rewire things. I tried to fix it 3 years back, and was crying by the second day. Gave up on the third. Anyway, there should be a series of secondary breakers you need to deal with before you can access the junction box. I don't remember the order, but flip levers until all those circuits are powered down.
No lawyer. Can't say I'll have what you need. But you're welcome to look. That's so. Think folks down here are too poor to afford electronics. Not the first time I heard that line. Yeah, I get that kind of attitude far too often. You find yourself with any more commentary, feel free to keep it to yourself. That's so. Well, then I'm hardly the man you want to be talking with. Ain't much. But take a look.
Welcome. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in the well. A lot of people in need. Humans are social animals. That's how we evolved, how we're built. But there are all sorts of situations where those evolutionary traits don't work in our favor. Is that what this is about? Isolation can be tough to deal with. This is a common problem. A lot of R&D was poured into this subject in the early days of spaceflight. If you're up for an intensive session, we can work on it now. No problem. Let me know if you change your mind. We run a number of social programs, from financial aid to food banks.
Give me a promotion.
We started as an intellectual movement built around atheism. As our numbers increased, we began focusing on humanitarian efforts and showing what humanity can achieve when we work together. We don't exactly pass around an offering plate, if that's what you're asking. But we do run mostly on donations. And as you might have guessed from the surroundings, we try and stretch those donations as far as we can. Perfect. It just so happens there's a task I need help with right now. It'll be appropriate. I understand that no one should work for free, even in service of the community. As for the job, I need you to pick up a man named Tahir over at the medbay. He's recovering from some injuries and needs assistance getting back to his apartment. I'd like you to pick him up, grab a bite to eat, and take him home. I'm afraid not. Even after you're healed, it takes time to recover from something like this. Most people have family and friends to lean on, but Tahir has no one. On top of that, he's a young and prideful man, so he won't accept help from UC security. That's a touchy subject. Tahir's had several run-ins with UC security, including tagging, theft, and brawls. He also blames the UC for the conditions in the well, not to mention his own personal difficulties. And since he won't accept help from the authorities, the house is stepping in to provide some aid. In one of the poorer districts, near where the children play soccer. Take him that far and he should be fine. Tahir is prideful, and I don't want him to feel like you held his hand. You just nudged him in the right direction. Great, you'll find him over at the medbay. He's probably hungry, so after you pick him up, escort him over to Kay's. She should have a meal ready for him to take home. And thanks.
Alright, Vala, you coming or not? This is the last time I'm gonna offer.
I don't need your help. I can walk home on my own.
Suit yourself, but if you get lost or end up in a cell, don't blame me. I tried to help. Hey there.
You need something? Hey, you wouldn't happen to know where the soccer nets are? My apartment's in the same area. I got a bad case of the brain fog, and I can't seem to remember which way to go. UC security offered, but I refused. Their help is the reason I'm hurt in the first place. I was arrested a while back for tagging. One of the officers roughed me up pretty bad, and I haven't been the same since. Really? Is this some sort of scam? I'll have you know, I got no creds. I've got some chronic health problems. Aches, pains, you name it, I got it. Most days I can deal with it, but sometimes my body doesn't respond at all, and I end up in the med bay. They put me on some pretty hard meds, and it takes a while for the fog to clear. The doc said to give it a few hours, but I'd rather not stick around this dump any longer than I have to. Not yet. I'm actually starving, but I think I have some canned goods at home. Andy, sing. Well, if I'm gonna owe anyone, I'd rather it be the house than the UC. All right, you win. Seeing as I got no one else, might as well roll the dice with a stranger. So, go on, lead the way.
Do you know why this place has stood for so long? I make sure everyone's comfy. I tell it like it is, and I don't take any shit. Sure I can. Just tell me who it's for, and we can get it sorted. I've got it right here. Is this for you to hear?
Well, I don't have any credits, so...
Then you're good. I already talked to Andy, and this one's on the house.
Thanks, Kay.
You're welcome, kid. It's just good to see you alive and well. You know, there was a time when you'd be in here every night.
Things change, Kay.
I know. Believe me, I know. And I get it's hard to come out here, but just... don't be a stranger, okay?
I'm sorry. I'll try not to.
Good. I'm glad we got that sorted. Here's the soup. Be careful, it's a little hot.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself. Understand? No causing trouble in here.
Yeah? Of course. It's because of them, the well is what it is. Whatever help they want to offer, I'm not taking. It's been about 2 years now, but don't get me wrong, I'm not fishing for a pity party. Everybody down here has problems. Some bigger than others. In the past, I could deal with it, but the pain just gets worse every year. So, I can't do any jobs that require a lot of standing, which is pretty much most jobs down here. But what can I do? If complaining fixed anything, the well wouldn't be what it is. Let's wait till we get home. I'm still a little dizzy, to be honest. I'd probably drop it. Lead the way.
I've got... We're doing the best we can here. That's all we can ever do. Well, that's what I'm here for. let's see what we're dealing with. Whew, it's a damn good thing you came in. You're a right mess. All right, we'll suture this up in no time. You're going to feel this, for sure, but you'll be all right in the end. There you go. More or less good as new. Don't have much of a choice. Can't afford to pay staff, and while I've got a few volunteers from the community, I can only ask so much of them. We've scraped by for a good long while now, and we'll continue to do so. Don't you worry. Funny story about that. You know, when people first arrived on Jemison, they dismantled the colony ship and used the parts to establish a place to live. Over time, they built out, and up, and up, and after long enough, they started to forget about the people and the things still down here. The walls and the ceiling have changed, but this place still uses equipment from that old ship. And it's here because not everyone in New Atlantis can afford Reliant Medical.
Sorry, I can't play right now. I'm grounded.
Ah, here we are. Home sweet home. I wouldn't know. It's not like anyone can afford to eat fancy down here. But thanks for the help. I probably would have found it on my own, but it would have been a chore. Oh, right, the soup from Kay's. Man, it's been a long time since I had a warm meal. You might say that. Before I got hurt, I used to stop by Kay's every night for a soup and a sandwich. It didn't matter how bad my day was, or how empty my pockets were. As long as I had my food and my beer, I'd be good. All that weight would just wash away. And to be honest, I haven't felt that feeling in ages. Until now. So, you doing this for me, it means a lot. Thanks. Likewise. I don't have a lot of connections around here. Not anymore, anyway. I appreciate meeting someone I can call a friend. Thanks.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
Can't take it! I'm out of here!
Situation's under control.
I can afford it. Thing about the trade business? Who you know matters as much as anything else. Be my guest. The Trade Authority appreciates your visit.
So, what's the point?
Of what?
This? Is it some sort of art? A Zen garden? What?
It's a communal art installation. It's supposed to look nice.
I guess. But I'm just saying, you could have a whole bat-ball field or some food stands. Something useful.
It's always something with you. It's a playground too, right?
Just an idea. I know that...
Maybe I just don't get art.
Well, I think the artists outdid themselves here.
Hope you're not agoraphobic.
You didn't hear this from me, but those eclectic mercenaries, the factions use them sometimes. Freestar Collective and UC both. That's why they give them a wide berth. Ask me, those murdering assholes.
We should have a talk. When you have the time, of course.
Got a call someone's power kept going out. You know what it was? A heat leech as long as my leg. Ugh.
Hey, are you looking for eggs too? I've only found one so far, but I want to find more before anyone else does. So if you see some, can you tell me? Yeah, it was. Weird, right? Miss Seng over at UC Distribution bought the one I found, and she said she might buy more if I can find them. I could really use the credits. When I grow up, I'm gonna be a Freestar Ranger.
When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you.
Bulk items may require multiple levels of approval and can take up to several weeks for an official response. We apologize for any delay. Welcome to UC Distribution. Something I can do for you? Who, Jordan? That kid's in here every other day with some random thing he found. Trying to get credits. Yeah, I took pity on him. Why, what is it? I'm wondering why you'd come looking for it. Oh, really? Well, you can have it back for what I paid for it, plus a little extra. Let's call it a convenience fee, shall we? I could, but I did pay for it. I'd like to recover my losses. And it's all the way in the back room. I'd have to walk back there, then back out here. You did say this was important after all. Honestly, it's probably worth way more than what we're talking about. Suit yourself. Right. Come back if you need something else.
You didn't hear this from me, but those eclectic mercenaries, the factions use them sometimes. Freestar Collective and UC both. It's why they give them a wide berth. Ask me, those murdering assholes should be blasted in the space dust.
Why are you bothering to carry all that junk?
Gwen really keeps the distribution center in tip-top shape.
This space is a memorial to those lost during the Colony War. Your consideration is requested.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
I don't think that's how it works. You've got to save some for the engine.
You just haven't had a run-in with those maroon creatures.
If it isn't my favorite almost Aladdin system. What can I do for you? Any luck tracking down those sensors? Expedience is vital. I appreciate your assistance, but I still need all of those sensors.
Recent scans of the tree have suggested that a significant portion of the interior is liquefied. Obviously, some small percentage of its internal workings is always liquid to allow for the transfer of nutrients and so forth, but this? Well, I've never seen anything like it. If it continues to increase, I'm concerned the entire tree may collapse, and I'm also worried about other secondary effects. If the time comes, I will certainly attempt to alert the appropriate people en masse. If I have more data, though, my concerns might carry some more weight. It's too soon to speculate. I'd very much like to see the additional data before I say more. I appreciate your confidence. The sooner I have all the available data, the sooner I can make an assessment. So you do. Wonderful. I'll just take these, and we'll see what they have to tell us.
All right, we'll just upload the data. Give it a moment.
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for good. Another day, another credit. Not too bad. Found a box of pens the other day. You'd be amazed at what people leave lying around. Oh, thank you so much. Soon I'll be coursing with bountiful energy. I'll be the most enthusiastic janitor in New Atlantis. Here, take this. I found it while I was cleaning. I figured you might find a use for it. Thanks again. I really appreciate it. Take care.
I should start charging for my services. Okay.
Is it weird that I still get nervous around you? We're literally best friends after...
Don't mind us, just passing through. Need something? You'd be surprised how popular it's becoming. There's even a group trying to organize all us independent settlers. Call themselves List. Been considering signing up. Little extra support never hurt. In a word, freeing. Living a life where you're stuck in tighter than a plastic-coated junk? Not for me. I needed room to breathe. Luckily, the galaxy's got plenty. Room, that is. The breathing part's tougher to come by. I swear, junks changed their recipe. Just doesn't taste the same anymore. Not easy, that's for sure. Being out there on your own, you need to be prepared. Pick the right world, the right equipment. But making a home that's yours and no one else's? Nothing else like it. Got some knickknacks I could part with?
Scan detected contraband on board. Halt and prepare to be boarded. All illegal and stolen goods will be confiscated. Copy that. Stay on course while we escort you in.
Nice jump. We're right on target.
We can you again. You're advised to leave this orbit immediately. The United Colonies will not be held responsible for any harm you suffer by proceeding. Tolomon 2 is a biological exclusion zone. Nothing down there but terramorphs and UC soldiers keeping an eye on them. Best course of action is to leave while you're still able.
Jump complete. Motion restored.
TES? I sure hope so. It's right behind you. Smell you later.